Today we're going to be looking at this upcycled antique Christmas village that I found at a thrift store, and we are going to be gothing it up and turning it into this, which I really like the way it turned out. So here's the process. This video is sped up by a lot because it took me about 7 hours to do the whole thing. So right here I'm using a primer. It's made by Liquitex. I use this a lot in my videos. You'll see it many times in my videos. I really like Liquitex as a brand. It's a really good brand, and their colors seem to have better pigmentation, and they last longer over time, so they don't fade as quickly. If you use a cheaper acrylic, it's going to lose that pigmentation. It's not going to be as bright, and it's going to fade over time. I also find with the Liquitex, the darker colors, you use less coats, so you do pay a little bit more for them, but in the long run, you're probably going to end up saving money just using a Liquitex or a more expensive acrylic paint. There are some other good brands out there. Da Vinci is a good brand. There's another one, I can't think of the name of it. They're in like little tiny silver tubes. And I want to say their logo is a lion. I can't remember the name of it though off the top of my head. That's another really good brand. But if you're just starting out and you just want some basic acrylics, I would skip the aisle where they have all those little bottles that are like 88 cents and just go right to like the basics in Michael's or your craft store and get their brand in the basics. And that's just going to be like your student level acrylic that's going to help you kind of get an idea of the colors and how everything will work and how it'll feel. Better acrylics will also be thicker, so they're almost more like an oil paint. So these, I was actually going to make all of them all black. My initial thought was like, I'm just going to paint everything on them all black. But I think it wouldn't do justice to all the little details that are on each of these houses. So I decided to add a little bit of color to them, I know. But I still think they look very gothic, and I really like the colors. I used all dark colors like dark reds and blues, and I kind of just gave them, this one has like a metallic hue to the roof. So it's still black, but it has like a silver metallic shine on top of it, and it just makes it just pop a little bit more. If you paint it in all black, you're going to lose a lot of all that detailing, and there's so much cool details on these that I didn't want to lose all that. So I did previously paint a whole village like this in black, and I kept it. It was when I worked in office and we had it was like a Christmas office decoration contest, and so we painted we didn't paint our office, but we redid our office in Merry Gothmas was our theme, and I had a whole Christmas village that was all painted black. But those were made out of plastic, and these are actually made out of ceramic, and I was very lucky to find the whole set. But when I got home, I realized that 2 of the people's arms were broken off, and they weren't in the bag, so they kind of, I guess, went to the thrift store that way. But that's okay. I just put them to the side, and maybe I'll use them in the future for like a horror movie little village where that people are missing limbs and things like that. It's a good way to upcycle some of the broken pieces. So I use different brushes throughout this. This is like a really small fine tip brush that I'm using to get all the details in there. And it's just, I have to go over it so many times because there's so many little tiny details that you can't really see in the video, but I can see in person that I missed the first time going around. So just looking at things in different lights will help you a lot, especially when you're painting. You can think, oh, I've gotten everything covered, and then when you just tilt your painting a little bit, you can see a spot that you missed. So it's always helpful to look at your painting in really bright lights or natural light. Take it outside, that's even better, and just look at it at different angles to see if there's any spots that you missed. So this was originally a general store. I think I turned this one into an apothecary. I really wanted to wait to post this video until after Thanksgiving, because there is that holiday between Halloween and Christmas that people forget about. Thanksgiving is not my favorite, obviously, but is still there. So sorry, not sorry. So I did release something really stupid here and put my hand in black paint. There you go. You can see it right there. Do this again later on. I also got it on my brush. So you'll see later on I'm actually wearing gloves because I didn't want to keep washing my hands. They were getting really, really dry from the paint and having to wash them so much. So that's fun. It's something I do all the time. Also, that little brick there that I painted black and it's supposed to be painted red, I do fix that later on. I noticed it and I was like, oh no, why did I do that? So I fixed it later on. So I really wanted to make these just really old school gothic kind of medieval looking houses because I think some of them just had that look to them. So I changed it from general store to apothecary, and another one I made it into a witch's house. There's one that you'll see later on that I made into an inn. Might have been, no, I think it was a bakery before. And then another one, it doesn't really, I think it was a bank before, but I think it looks cool and I just say it's a vampire's house. But I guess it could really be anything because it's just all black, so it just reminds me of a vampire house. But I guess, I mean, really, it could be anything. So I use like a really small brush, like I said, to do these details. This one's going to be the witch's house. So again, started off with the top coat or the base coat, which is a primer coat, and then went with black detailing. And I was going to actually make this one again all black, but I decided since it's kind of looks like it's stone to make it like a dark gray instead. And then you saw me putting the apothecary on the wood piece. It was actually a popsicle stick that I cut. So I do swap between them a couple times because one's drying and then I'm working on the other one. So it's not just like, oh, I'm just sitting around. No, I'm just waiting for one to dry while I do the other one. Oh yeah, this is where I put my hand in more paint again. You'll see it. Yep, there you go. All on my hand again. As you can see, it's on my desk there. That poor desk. It's such a mess. I really should get a new desk, but it is what it is. So there we go, gluing down the apothecary sign, and then I use a Q-tip to clean off the extra glue that kind of seeped out from underneath. It's the same epoxy glue that I use all the time. And this is which is going to be the witch's house. I think this is the witch's house. So the thatchet roof on this, I just thought it would be cool for like that old-timey look. So that's why I decided, yeah, you know what? I think this one is the witchy house. And this is when I started wearing the glove too. Because I was like, I'm not dealing with this anymore. So like my bat lamp in the background, I got it at Joann Fabrics a couple years ago. It was around, well, it was actually in August because it was around my birthday. But all the best stuff comes out in August for Halloween. It's good to be an August baby if you like Halloween. So this is actually a really long process. Like I said, it took me like 7 to 10 hours, I think. And at one point there was a graveyard that I made as well. But when I put it next to all the other pieces, I really just didn't like it. And so I just ended up scrapping it, which sucks because I spent like 3 hours making like fences and gravestones and just to rip it all apart. But it just, I don't know, it just made it look cheap to me. So I just got rid of it and just said the heck with it. I'm not using it. Hey guys, if you like this sort of content and you like watching my art process, as well as seeing my 3 cats just be cats during the whole process, give the channel a like and a subscribe. And if there's anything you want to purchase, just reach out to me on social. Thanks. So this one, it was initially an inn, but I think it was called the Lily Inn. And I was like, that's not really gothic. So I changed it to the Raven Inn. And in this dark blue color and the shape of it, it kind of gives me like vibes from Doctor Who with like the blue phone booth that he uses to teleport everywhere. It gives me Doctor Who vibes. But I think it's cool and I like it. This hasn't sold yet. I've actually had it out at 2 shows, but I don't have the table room for the whole thing to be out. So I only put out like one piece and then a sign saying like it's actually, I don't remember how many pieces it is. Because later on I did buy some little lights for it as well. But since you only see like the one piece on my table, I think people assume I'm charging an exuberant amount for one ceramic house, which is not the case. People don't really like to read. But if you're interested in buying it, send me a message. I don't know how I'm going to ship it because it is ceramic and I wouldn't want it to break, but I'm sure I can figure out something. I keep a lot of packing materials from when I get usually cat food delivered every month from Amazon, so I keep all that and then I reuse it when I ship things. I might be able to make it, packed up really well. This one I put like a brown copperish tone to the top, and then I did the same thing for this one as well. This one I think was this one was the bakery. Yeah, it was the bakery, but I don't know if I changed it into anything or if I just let it go. I think I changed it into nothing. I think it's just a house. I can't remember. Sorry, I have bad memory. That's what happens when you get old. To get this angle, I have to like put my camera on a little table next to me and then try and angle it so that it gets the whole thing and it doesn't fall over. And it's not as easy as it looks. But like you could see at the top there, that's usually where my camera is, where my phone is, to record my videos. And it doesn't really work with something like this because you can't see the whole thing. So that's why I switched to kind of this view. And there's not a lot of space there between the light and my desk, as you can see. So that's why sometimes it's really hard to see what I'm doing because there's not that much space. So this kind of view works a little bit better, except when I, actually get it in frame. That would be helpful, huh? I wanted to make it look like there were some lights on in this one, so I did paint some of the windows yellow. I don't think I painted them all yellow. I think it was just a couple of them, and then some other ones I left blank because, who leaves all of their lights on? Unless you have stock in the electric company. That's something I heard all the time as a kid. Don't leave the lights on. We don't own stock. Okay. Oh my gosh. My cats are all sleeping next to me. They're so cute. They're so cute. This one is the one that I made into the vampire house. It was listed as a bank before, but I just painted it all black because I just had to get the idea of painting one all black out of my system, and now it's just a vampire's house or whatever, someone who loves black like me. But I don't know. I'm still tossed up whether I should have painted them all black or not. What do you guys think? Should I have painted them all black, or do you like them in the different colors? Comment down below in the comments and let me know. And don't tell me I should have painted them pink, because that was never going to happen. That was never an option. These were really fun, though. They took a while, but they were still fun. I would buy them again, like buy similar ones again and make a new village. I saw the old village from my office. It's downstairs. Did I miss a paint of all that purple? Did I lose all that footage? Oh god, I think I did. Well, that's nothing new. What else is new? If you've seen one of my videos before, you know I've lost footage at some point. And I think I explained it in one of my videos why that happens as well. And now my backup hard drive, I think there's something wrong with it, so I don't know, that's fun. Every time I try to move something to it, it gives me an error. So I have a bunch of stuff on my laptop that I have to move over, and yeah. Oh, this one I painted all the windows yellow. Apparently he does own stock in the electric company. And just adding some white to the top to give it some snow details. some snow. And there is a little bit at the end where I did paint some of the villagers different colors. Yeah, I must have lost footage. Because I put that I put the pentagram on the witch's house, and it was just on there, and it wasn't on there before. So I suck. What else is new? It's because I do these over like weeks. It takes weeks to do one. So it's not like, oh, I just lost it in a day. No, it's like over a week's time. Usually several. So this is what they look like when I was finished with them then. And then this is actually a fairy garden set from Dollar Tree. And I did the same thing where I just painted over it in the base coat, the primer coat, the same thing with the little pond looking bridge and the little sign. Painted them all with the primer coat, and then I started painting them over it. This is like a fairy garden. It was actually initially going to go, as here you can see a little bit there, that was part of the graveyard. It was going to go in the graveyard, but then I decided not to use the graveyard, but I liked the pieces, so I kept these pieces and just kept them with my town. But I didn't use the graveyard. And I wanted this to look kind of mossy, so I used a green paint and kind of sponged it over it to make it look old and grimy and mossy and dirty. It would also kind of work if there they are again. I don't know why I added that twice. It would also kind of work for like a D&D setup. So here's what they look like all painted. And then here's the people and the Christmas tree that I painted afterwards. That should have more people, like I said before, but some of them were missing limbs, so we didn't use those. They're downstairs to put to the side in case I ever make another one with like a haunted village or like serial killer village. That would be pretty cool. I did try to fix her arm. The one girl's arm was broken. I did try to fix it, but it just didn't look right. So I think it would be cooler if I just make her look gory and, you know, like her limb was just sawed off by a serial killer. Because I have a weird sense of humor. And of course, all the people, you know, their clothes have to be dark. They don't live in a goth village if they're wearing bright colors. It's just silly. Even the kids. I mean, it's like every time I would buy my niece clothes, I could never find ones that were black. It's all bright clothes for little kids. And it's like, why? I think having a kid would be the most depressing thing in the entire world. It's awful. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think at one point the girl on the snowbank there broke off because if you saw in the last clip, there was like some yellow residue, and I think that was glue. That someone glued her back on there at some point, but I just painted over it. You can't even tell. You can't tell. So here it is with all the pieces painted and these spooky little trees that I found. So I hope you guys like this. Oh yeah, the witch's house, I put the little thing outside and says go away. That's a horrible picture. Anyway, I hope you guys liked it and you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Stay spooky, my friend.